In the crisp November of 1999, within the walls of a quintessential American Midwestern home, lived an 8-year-old protagonist, wrapped in the innocence of childhood. The air was tinged with the nostalgia of the 90s, and the warmth of family radiated through the halls. Amidst the suburban bliss, the protagonist shared their days with two companions in mischief, an older sister named Denise, aged 10, and a mischievous 5-year-old brother, Howie. Together, they crafted memories against the backdrop of a home that echoed with the highs of 90s consumerism. The story takes root in the glow of a happy upbringing, a canvas painted with laughter, shared secrets, and the glow of sibling camaraderie. A snapshot of a family thriving in the simplicity of Midwestern life. Yet, beneath the veneer of joy, a peculiar anomaly marked a turning point. The protagonist reminisces about a specific childhood game, a game that unraveled the threads of their conventional reality. With Denise as the mastermind, the siblings embarked on a chilling adventure within the confines of the playroom closet. In this makeshift theater of imagination, dolls took their seats as the siblings choreographed a spooky tale. The narrative unfolded, reaching a crescendo with Woody from Toy Story possessed by a phantom force. As the room plunged into darkness and the lights flickered, an unexpected disruption shattered the make-believe world. Reality snapped back, and the protagonist found themselves at the mercy of their unamused mother, standing in the playroom doorway, disrupting the haunting narrative. The aftermath of this innocent game set the stage for unforeseen events, introducing a subtle undercurrent of unease to the once blissful home. The aftermath of the haunting playroom escapade lingered like a ghostly whisper in the corridors of the protagonist's childhood home. In the wake of their spooky storytelling, an unexpected intruder manifested itself, a mysterious hole that materialized in the basement wall. The emergence of this enigmatic portal cast an unsettling shadow over the once familiar surroundings. As the protagonist connected the dots between the eerie game and the appearance of the hole, a heightened sense of trepidation settled over them. Fear, like an uninvited guest, nestled in the corners of the basement, transforming it from a sanctuary of toys and adventures into a realm of inexplicable anxiety. Howie, the ever-observant younger sibling, became a reluctant witness to the palpable unease. His innocent curiosity led him to the basement, where his small frame crouched down, fixated on the corner where the hole had materialized. To the protagonist's dismay, Howie, with the candor only a child possessed, claimed to have glimpsed a funny person concealed within the wall. This revelation sent shivers down the protagonist's spine, and the basement, once a playground of imagination, became a labyrinth of uncertainty. The concept of a hidden presence, an elusive figure lurking behind the wall, transformed the mundane act of descending the basement stairs into a harrowing journey fraught with unseen perils. The protagonist grappled with a newfound fear, a fear that seemed to seep through the very foundation of the home. The basement, once a retreat, now harbored secrets that eluded comprehension. The haunting hole and Howie's unsettling revelation became the focal points of a growing mystery, shrouded in the veiled shadows of the protagonist's apprehensions. The unsettling discovery of the funny person lurking within the basement walls cast a chilling specter over the once vibrant household. Howie's innocent encounter with this elusive entity became a whispered tale, echoing through the rooms and heightening the fear that had taken root. As the news of Howie's sighting spread among the siblings, an undercurrent of trepidation surged through their shared experiences. The playroom, once an arena of imaginative exploits, now stood tainted by the enigmatic presence that dwelled beneath the surface. Seeking solace and understanding, the siblings turned to their parents, hoping for reassurance in the face of mounting fear. However, parental skepticism became an unexpected adversary. Mom and Dad, unable to perceive the invisible intruder, dismissed the children's concerns as mere flights of fancy. Undeterred by the parental skepticism, Dad, a figure of reassurance and strength, took it upon himself to quell the rising anxieties. Armed with tools and determination, he descended into the basement, ready to confront the unknown. The protagonist, clinging to the hope that their fears were unfounded, watched as Dad inspected the mysterious hole. With each measured movement of his hands, Dad embarked on a mission to mend the breach in the basement wall. the protagonist, eager for a resolution, stood on the precipice of anticipation. A patchwork of drywall emerged, erasing the physical manifestation of their fears, or so they hoped. Dad, exuding confidence born of his role as the family's protector, assured the protagonist that there was no one hiding within the confined space. The whole, now concealed behind the facade of repaired drywall, seemed to be a relic of a bygone fear. Yet, the echoes of disquiet lingered, leaving the protagonist teetering on the edge of belief and uncertainty. The basement, once a haven of play and imagination, now bore the scars of an encounter with the unknown, marking the beginning of a precarious journey into the shadows. The mending of the hole in the basement wall proved to be but a fleeting respite from the encroaching unease. Despite Dad's earnest efforts to eradicate the source of fear, the household found itself ensnared in a web of disquiet that refused to dissipate. Eerie incidents, like whispers of a hidden presence, persisted, clawing at the edges of the family's sense of security. Shadows danced in the corners of the basement, casting doubt on the effectiveness of the repairs. The once playful haven now harbored a tension that clung to the air, leaving the protagonist and their siblings on edge. A new layer of mystery unfolded when Denise, the elder sister, stumbled upon mysterious Barbie heels. These unearthed artifacts intensified the supernatural atmosphere that enveloped the household. The mint green heels, seemingly materialized out of thin air, carried an otherworldly weight, challenging the very fabric of reality. In collective apprehension, the siblings convened, recognizing the need for a united front against the unseen forces that had infiltrated their home. A pact formed in the face of the unexplained, to avoid the basement at all costs. The once vibrant playroom now stood abandoned, a relic of innocence overshadowed by an unsettling presence. The decision to steer clear of the basement became a shared commitment, a collective effort to shield themselves from the unknown. The siblings, bound by a newfound fear, sought refuge in other realms of imagination, reading together, practicing gymnastic tumbles in the yard, or losing themselves in the comforting glow of cartoons. Yet, the shadows that clung to the basement's walls continued to weave an unsettling narrative, leaving the family teetering on the precipice of the supernatural. Alone in the once familiar playroom, the protagonist found themselves entwined in a dance with the unknown. The collective decision to avoid the basement had momentarily granted respite, but the unseen force, undeterred, sought new avenues to manifest its presence. As the protagonist navigated the solitude of the playroom, a sudden chill descended, casting a pall over the room. The air seemed to thicken with a tangible tension, and the shadows danced with a newfound vigor. It was in this eerie stillness that a disconcerting encounter unfolded. A shadowy hand, black as the abyss, emerged from the depths of the closet, fingers delicately manipulating Barbie accessories. Frozen in place, the protagonist watched in silent horror as the spectral appendage wove its way through the miniature world, a puppeteer in an unseen theater. The fear, once confined to the basement, now spilled into the sanctum of play, leaving the protagonist grappling with the realization that the unseen force had breached the boundaries they had sought to establish. The supernatural had ceased to be a distant specter, becoming an intimate, bone-chilling presence. In a desperate bid to make sense of the inexplicable, Denise and Dad were summoned to investigate. Together, they ventured into the playroom, guided by a shared determination to uncover the truth. However, the elusive force seemed to mock their efforts, leaving no trace of its existence. The room, now a silent witness to the family's escalating fear, yielded no answers. Denise and Dad, their skepticism at odds with the palpable tension in the air, could only offer reassurances based on the absence of evidence. The playroom, once a haven of joy and laughter, now bore witness to the shadows that refused to be dispelled. With the house consumed by the hectic pace of Mom's bustling schedule, the protagonist found themselves facing an unforeseen challenge, a solo descent into the depths of the basement. The collective pact to avoid the shadows that lingered below became a fragile barrier, and duty compelled the protagonist to breach it. The basement, once a realm of shared fears, now stood as an ominous threshold, beckoning the protagonist to confront the lingering unknown. The familial reassurances that had fortified their resolve seemed distant echoes as the basement door creaked open, revealing the uncertain expanse below. Halfway down the stairs, a disconcerting sight greeted the protagonist, the reappearance of the ominous hole, an indelible mark on the basement's narrative. The repaired drywall, a feeble attempt to banish the shadows, had succumbed to the relentless force that defied containment. As the protagonist stood at the precipice of the playroom door, a renewed reluctance took hold. The closet, once a repository of childhood treasures, now harbored an unspoken fear. The coats, tucked behind the play clothes, became elusive specters, their retrieval fraught with the weight of unseen eyes. Summoning a deep breath, the protagonist steeled themselves for the task at hand. The plan, born of necessity, involved a swift retrieval of the coats, a calculated maneuver to minimize exposure to the shadows that clung to the basement's recesses. Yet, as the protagonist approached the closet, a haunting realization set in. Visibility within the cramped space was obscured, and the hand, the puppeteer of the family's fears, lay in wait. The surreal journey into darkness unfolded as the protagonist, in the act of reaching for the coats, found themselves ensnared by an unseen force. A seismic shift in reality transported the protagonist into a dimension that defied logic. Scenes unfolded like chapters in a cosmic tapestry: an Asian sweatshop, a hospital birthing room, a desolate bedroom steeped in ancient sorrows. Emotions, raw and unfiltered, surged through the protagonist, a witness to the kaleidoscope of human experience. In this surreal odyssey, the boundaries of time and space blurred, leaving the protagonist adrift in a sea of emotions. The basement, once a mundane backdrop, became a portal to a realm that transcended the limits of understanding. In the ethereal tapestry of the in-between space, the protagonist drifted like a transient spirit, a silent observer of the myriad threads that wove the fabric of human existence. Embraced by the weightless void, scenes unfolded like fragments of forgotten dreams, each revealing a different facet of the human experience. The protagonist's senses became conduits for emotions, a visceral connection to the triumphs and tragedies that played out in this cosmic panorama. From the sweat-soaked toil of a distant sweatshop to the tender embrace of new life in a hospital room, the in-between space offered a kaleidoscope of emotions that transcended the boundaries of comprehension. Amidst this boundless expanse, a shadowy figure emerged as a silent companion to the protagonist's journey. Featureless and enigmatic, this entity shared a tacit understanding, a language woven into the very fabric of the in-between. Together, they navigated the currents of human emotion, drifting towards distant lights that marked the boundaries of their shared odyssey. Yet, as the protagonist reveled in the cosmic ballet of emotions, a subtle melancholy began to pervade their consciousness. It manifested in the gradual transformation of their own being, fingers darkening, a metamorphosis mirroring the companion that accompanied them. The realization dawned like a fading star in the endless night: an extended sojourn in this realm threatened to erase the very essence of the protagonist's humanity. The companion, sensing the unspoken struggle within the protagonist, nodded in silent acknowledgement. A gentle guidance led the protagonist towards a specific point in the cosmic tapestry, a luminous hole that beckoned like a beacon through the darkness. It was a gateway, a passage back to the realm of the living. As the protagonist approached the threshold, the companionship in the in-between space lingered like a bittersweet echo. A silent farewell, a nod of gratitude, and the protagonist extended a trembling hand towards the beckoning light. The transition, both physical and metaphysical, hung in delicate balance. Guided by the shadowy companion, the protagonist approached the luminous hole in the cosmic tapestry. It shimmered like a celestial portal, offering a glimpse of a familiar realm, the bottom of the basement stairs. With a hesitant yet determined gesture, the protagonist extended their hand towards the beckoning light. The transition was a subtle unfurling, a return to the tangible reality that awaited beyond the veil. As the protagonist emerged from the cosmic tapestry, the basement stairs materialized around them, Howie's concerned face peering through the familiar hole. Howie's eyes widened in astonishment and elation as the protagonist's hand reached through the portal. In a seamless ballet of coordination, Howie's small hands clasped the protagonist's, and with shared effort, the reunion unfolded. The basement became a stage for the joyous dance of siblings, a triumphant overture to the symphony of fears that had once gripped their shared reality. The family, drawn by the commotion, descended upon the scene like characters stepping into the concluding act of a grand narrative. Hugs and laughter intertwined, transcending the shadows that had cast a pall over their lives. The protagonist, now an emissary returned from the in-between space, held a newfound appreciation for the simple warmth of human connection. As the family embraced, the protagonist's gaze turned towards the fireplace. There, a skeletal finger wiggled through a small hole, a silent acknowledgement from the enigmatic companion that had guided their odyssey. A subtle smile played on the protagonist's lips, a silent expression of gratitude to the spectral ally that had orchestrated their return. The return brought not only the warmth of family but also a stark confrontation with the altered reality the protagonist now inhabited. The physical toll of the journey lingered like a phantom ache, a reminder etched in the loss of toes and fingertips to the frostbite that had gripped the ethereal realm. The police, unable to fathom the inexplicable circumstances surrounding the protagonist's disappearance and reappearance, delved into an investigation shrouded in confusion. Their inquiries echoed through the halls of the home, each question a probing reminder of a journey that defied the boundaries of rationality. The protagonist, caught between the realm of the unexplainable and the skepticism of those seeking logical resolutions, faced the challenge of navigating a reality that had been forever altered. Attempts to articulate the cosmic odyssey proved futile, the words tangled in the threads of an otherworldly experience that defied conventional understanding. Family dynamics, once grounded in the familiarity of the everyday, underwent a subtle transformation. The whispers of the in-between space lingered like an elusive melody, a haunting refrain that colored the air with an intangible resonance. While the bonds of kinship held firm, the specter of the unknown cast shadows that rippled through the fabric of their shared existence. Life settled into a rhythm for the protagonist, a melody composed of both the ordinary and the extraordinary. The echo of the in-between space faded to a gentle hum, a background melody in the symphony of everyday existence. The physical wounds served as tangible reminders of the cosmic sojourn, yet they became symbols of resilience rather than harbingers of loss. Glimpses of shadowy figures persisted, appearing at unexpected moments, a subtle nod from the cosmic companions who had guided the protagonist through the tapestry of human experience. The shadows, once feared, now carried an air of camaraderie, a silent acknowledgement of a connection that transcended the boundaries of comprehension. The protagonist, armed with an understanding of both the mundane and the extraordinary, made a conscious decision to infuse life with positivity. The occasional sightings of shadowy hands waving through holes became prompts for reciprocal gestures. A smile and a wave in response to the spectral greetings, a silent exchange of goodwill across the thin veil that separated the tangible from the intangible. Acceptance became the cornerstone of the protagonist's new reality. The inexplicable was woven into the fabric of their existence, a testament to the enduring connection forged in the cosmic tapestry. Instead of dwelling in the shadows, the protagonist chose to bask in the warmth of shared experiences, both earthly and ethereal.